So I do come across as scattered in my plans of how to make this place start to function again. And that makes sense because I have so many different ideas and they can't all be done at once. There isn't financing for it. There isn't time for it. And so let me make it clearer what matters right now. Number one is make the space at all comfortable and survivable for a base core team. 6 people, cleaning it up enough so then we can host 12. Just get a base core team with different functions, every function very specifically clear, written up, goals set, how different people help each other and work together, a food system, and that right there will take a little while. Now, another really critical early system will be housing, and that means that the building program, the building workshops would be high priority. Those are quite popular. I have friends that do that kind of thing, and I could invite them as instructors. Most of them will want to be paid a bunch because they're, they have other options. If they can get paid a lot, they'll want that. Well, I need people who believe in this vision, who really want to be part of it. And so I do expect that people are going to be investing their time into it. And some of those people will be raising money to do it. And so I'm not against the idea of figuring out how people can be profiting. That is how we will succeed longer term. But to begin with, there's people making $150,000 in London who think they're going to come here and make $150,000, and it's like that's not going to happen. I live on barely anything now, and I'm looking at investing, potentially $1 million into developing this place, and just even getting it started could take $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And I've already invested a lot into it. 21 years of my life working in order to get the resources to buy this place, and then buying it, and then developing it. So it's like my investment's extremely high. That's one of the reasons I haven't given up. Perhaps it's a sunk cost fallacy. I could just sell this whole place and start a smaller project. But I love this land. I'm connected to it. And I believe if I can partner with the right people, that we can create something that's never been created ever. Never. With the cultural combined with the architecture, with the plants, with the animals, with the right people. I've never heard of anybody talk the way I do. And I've studied every kind of community effort, every kind of religion, business models, not as much. That's probably a problem. But a lot of business models I don't want to have. Like I don't want to have angel investors whose real goal is to make as much money out of the project and other people's labor as possible. I want us to own it until I die. And then the people who worked on it, they will own it. So it's tricky. There's a couple of us going to come here, and they're an example. There's many examples of different special cases of what each person needs. So I need to address many paths to how it would work out to be here. For example, I'd like to invite whole families, but I can't do that until I have a system that protects and takes care of kids. Really, I can't have anybody here until I think quite a bit about medical security, because I'm too far out and I have no vehicle. So there's things to figure out with that. So anyway, back to this couple as an example, right? They're both great candidates. They both speak more than one language. One of them speaks 3 and wants to learn another or something, so that's cool. More languages are better, since I'm trying to invite the whole world here. They don't have immigration issues. Some people do. You know, if you're trying to invite people from all over the world, a lot of them can't necessarily commit to something long term unless we figure out, you know, maybe they could marry somebody, or maybe there's other kinds of visas. There are a few visas out there that are available that are not normal. So, one of them thought I was kind of scattered, and that is correct, but I think I can clarify that really easily. I think I just did. That really we're looking at financial survival as being number one. That is the first goal. And that could come from having really cool projects and then getting grants for them. It could come from hosting people, but not quite ready yet for regular people, who just want to consume an experience. I'm not ready. Crowdfunding is a great option. I do have some social credit. People enjoy seeing what I'm going to do, and some people know me personally and have faith that I'm going to do something weird at least. Hopefully working out for great results. But, I've been here for 21 years. And so my question is, well, then, or other people's question might be like, well, then how come you haven't already done it? Well, I've done a lot of stuff, a lot more than most people. I've hosted like over 3,000 people. It's been many adventures, and I've learned a lot through that process. Unfortunately, a lot of those people were not at all interested in anything longer term. Maybe I can think off the top of my head, 10, maybe there's been 15 people who would even consider staying in a place very long. So in other words, I hosted the wrong kind of people to set up a longer term team. And then my friends, most of them, at the age I was when I moved down, and even now, a lot of them are tied up with kids and jobs quite a bit. So it's kind of understandable that, they're not an option to just leave a place where they can make a lot of money in the city and come out here. Even if they love the idea, which most of them probably don't care. A lot of them are party friends and they like Burning Man and stuff like that, but they live in the default world and they want to stay there. It's not a problem. I'm a little disappointed because when I first came here, I thought that a lot more people would visit, even just for events. But it's far. I'm far out. It's inconvenient. And, somebody asked me if I had a pool. I don't have a pool. This is like camping. It's a step up from camping, certainly. I have cabins and stuff, but everything here is pretty difficult. And with a bunch of labor and money, that could be fixed really quickly. And what's good is that I've been out here long enough that I've learned which systems are actually critical and which are not. Because I've had people come out here and they try and tell me, well, you should do this, you should do that. And it's like, if that's not core to survival of the project, then that goes in the long list, and I'm happy to put it on there, of really cool shit to do. Like I mentioned to somebody, I want to make a koi pond. Yeah, I do. I want to make really cool koi ponds. More than one. I want to make a koi egg reproduction area. I saw a cool video about that. Is that going to bring in any money right away? No. That's going to take a couple of years to set up at least. Everything happens faster if there's enough money you dump onto it. But, even then, what am I doing? Selling pet koi? Is that fitting with my vision of saving the world? No, I just think it'd be really cool to have some koi ponds. Setting up teams for construction, that's something real. Setting up teams that can build composting toilets locally, that fits in with my social goals, where I'm saving water in the communities around me. So, in this long list this long spreadsheet of every project. We have to put a priority on it, and one of the other columns is how much is it going to cost, how many people hours is it going to take to do it, to what level, to what stage, because each thing is going to have stages to it. So it requires a lot of project planning, and project planning takes time. And so I have to, I guess, focus on really specific things I need to do. For example, I need to set some very specific crowdfunding efforts for parts of this project and for particular projects. Well, running one crowdfunding thing can take a fair amount of time, but in order to fit all this together, I probably need to start 5 or 10 crowdfunding projects. That's a full-time job right there. And day to day, I'm just trying to get by. You know, I deal with dog stuff and injuries and local shit. Not all the time. I mean, I have a lot of free time, actually. That's why I do long rambling videos like this. But it's actually part of my job to communicate with a whole bunch of people the opportunities, the challenges, and what kind of nut it is that's theoretically in charge of it. But really, I have to figure out how to collect people who I can distribute responsibilities to for their benefit, right? Win-win. And that's a trick. There's a lot of deal breakers. There's like a lot of kinds of people that won't even be honest, and they're dangerous. And I'm people shy, you know, misanthropic to some degree. But I know there's good people out there with the right kind of skills, with the right kind of resources, who I can partner with, because what I bring to the table is a lot. And so I need other people who are bringing stuff to the table. There's lots of nice people out there who say, I'm so good, I'm so nice, and they've not really created anything in their life, and they don't really bring anything except a promise, and I'm done with them. Simple promise is not good enough. I'd like to see a track record. Even with the couple I'm talking to right now, yeah, they talk nice. Do they have a track record they can point to? What grants have they run? You know? Do they even know anything more about grants than I do? Maybe not. And maybe that's okay in some cases. You know? I know that one of the people in the couple has worked on some cool projects, that one of which could be a crowdfunded project. I mean, that could get written up, put up, and it could be getting an income right away. And we could be documenting building fences needed, building houses needed. We could get to that point where we're ready to get our first animals. It'd be like Cool Animals project. Whether it's a donkey sanctuary or some other kind of animal, that could be popular right away. And that could create volunteer opportunities. That could fund itself. So that's an interesting one. And then somebody could right away be doing the housing project, the building workshops, and I have teachers available for that already. I have land spots available, and it's just a matter of money to do it. And we could be building really sustainable buildings, not just ones that are cool, like described in the Hand Sculpted House book. It's a book recommendation, Hand Sculpted House. Or, you know, we could build straw bale houses. We could do a lot of stuff, but I have architectural ideas that just are wild that no one in the world has done. Not wild because they look really cool. I mean, that would be neat too, to like make ferro cement sculpted buildings and magic cool looking buildings. Most of my architectural thoughts are focused on systems. I think about function, not form. And so the truth is, a lot of the buildings I imagine kind of look ugly. They're a machine built around energy systems and human need. And on top of that, there could also be placed a layer of magical prettiness. But magical prettiness is not something I usually spend a lot of time thinking about. Maybe I should. In Florida, they just opened up a new theme park. We could actually build houses that have a magical theme parkness to them, where people are thrilled to sleep in it. And I guess then they want to take pictures of it, which is a security privacy violation. Yesterday I walked 7.5 miles. I'm going to do that 3 times a week. Today I'm not doing it. Surprisingly, my legs feel pretty good. I think more movement is good for me. That's going to be another struggle. Inviting a base team here is that each one's going to come in, and if they come in wanting to create their place, we're going to have conflict. If they want to be in charge and be a bully, some of them are bullies, not all of them. If they want to create their place here that doesn't fit in with my vision, it's not that their idea is bad, but they should get their own land and do it. Because a lot of that stuff will be not relevant to immediate survival. It will sometimes, rarely probably, be in conflict with the overall vision, but more likely just not at the right time. I mean, my list of cool ideas is immense. And so when people come in, they have to realize that the goal is immediate survival. Minimal comfort, survival. And I guess my task today, tomorrow, and the next is to start making hardcore decisions that are locked down. Because I often talk with people in a sort of speculative way. Well, we can do it this way or this way. And it's like at some point I have to say, this is the way it's going to be. This is exactly your role. Well, these are exactly a set of roles that are available. And here's what's expected of you. Really horrible things like get the fuck out of bed in the morning. Which apparently for some people is difficult. Well, it shouldn't be here. So there are really fairly controlling things I have to offer about how we're going to live here. And I don't really, I used to feel shy about that. Like, everybody should be free. I'm very freedom-oriented. I'm hardcore freedom-oriented. So for me to talk about any kind of control system, to me, sounds really bad too. It sounds bad to most people. But this is not controlling people who haven't made an agreement to what this place is. In order to make that agreement effectively, I have to have that all written up really clearly. And it isn't written up. It's scattered throughout videos and rambling thoughts and stuff. Some of it is written up, but it's not written up like a business handbook. You know, somebody mentioned that when you get a job nowadays, there's this big handbook thing of like how to do the job. And it's like I used to do hiring, and there was an employee handbook, but I would do hiring and I would just only have a chance to talk with them for an hour, hour and a half, and then take a guess on whether they'd be a good employee. And that's just for an employee relationship, which is far more relaxed than this bizarre idea of creating a group of people in difficult conditions to have a social structure that none of us come from. All people trained have different communication styles, most of them being fairly arrogant and thinking they know the right way for everything to be. Well, I don't know the right way for everything to be. I know the right way for things to be right here. And so I'm going to have to collect people who have an attitude where they would like to join into a thing that doesn't exist, but is really well defined. I'll make another video about that right now. The difference between gathering people and trying to create something versus defining something and then gathering people that fit into it. Let's do that video. Yeah, see you later.